Almost
Stop.
and we'll get right into today's session. We are at we're at 4024204. It was up earlier, 253, I believe it was 253, 2478, I believe, somewhere around there. That we hit a high on, and then we had a little sell off. We dropped down to 399, 2399. Okay, so massive shout out to Rowena, massive shout out to Jason. Good evening. Yes, Jason, good to see you. Big shout out to Prince if he gets in. Big shout out to Wena. Okay, let's get into today's session. This one's going to be a good one, guys, because we had some massive intros. Those massive intros have made headways on. We haven't seen that price reflection in SHIB's price, but we have seen a massive burn that's been going on, and so that's a good sign, positive sign for the new year. Yesterday we had, I think it was 31 million SHIB burn, which worked out to about just over $1,200 USD. So that was given back to the whole SHIB community. And then today we've had a massive burn. So we'll get into the burns here. We'll share this link. Okay, so 9 hours ago we did 10,000. 10 hours ago they did 226,000. 13 hours ago they did 19 million in SHIB reduction. And then 14 hours ago they did 412,000. And 17 hours ago we did 1,955,404. And just a little over 24 hours ago we did 9,074,000. Again, just over that period, I think around 26 hours was 1.25 million, and then 28 hours was 1 million. So we have been reducing it. It just doesn't show or reflect in the price, but you're not going to see it reflect in the price because, well, you just won't. Okay, so we had the 100,000 and 429,000 reduced. So if we look at that, how much was done in the last little while? So we almost burned what we did yesterday, which was the 31,483,000. If you look at it and go, okay, we start adding these up. There's 10, there's 12 and 19. Yeah, we're in that ballpark, right? So we're at the 32,000. So another $1,200 given to the whole SHIB community, which is a very positive sign. I wouldn't say it's drastic by any means, but it does show you why you're invested in SHIB. Makes sense? The reason why you're invested in SHIB is because it's always reducing its circulating supply. It's constantly reducing its circulating supply. What's the number one thing of the raffle that we want to get going on it is bring in demand, drive up demand, drive up. The price is one thing, but we want to drive in the fact that we're reducing SHIB circulating supply on a massive scale. So that would drive in more and more wallet holders. And that alone would drive in more and more people because it would be a shortfall for people who didn't get in. So just so that you would be aware. Okay, you would see a drastic move in SHIB. It wouldn't be right away, but it would be something that would happen very, very quickly. And it would set fire because everybody that would be day trading it would stop day trading it and realize that it's actually an asset worth keeping because it's reducing its circulating supply on a global scale and on a daily event. So if you do sell it, you do know that you probably won't be able to get back into it at that price. So it would literally stop losing ground on the form of 50% reductions. You would see a 30% pullback, but you wouldn't see a 50 to 60% pullback in SHIB. It would stop it right in its tracks. And if they were smart and they caught on to it, which I'm saying that they probably wouldn't, but they could, Okay, guys, I'm having an issue here with the network. Please bear with me. Okay, I'm gonna go look up something here because this is freezing on me, and it is the ether scan to find out how many wallets have poured into SHIB in the last little while. Now it should be over 82,000, 1,482,000, but it's having a contention. Even on my phone, it's having contention. So we'll dismiss that for now. We'll share this link instead. This is the SHIB 4024138, which in my opinion is greatly undervalued. I don't know how you feel about that, Jason, but I feel like it's completely misrepresented. That means it's giving everybody an opportunity to buy. The high end for SHIB should be in that all-time high range between 3 zeros 1 and 3 zeros 4. So anywhere in there, that's where SHIB should be fluctuating. And that's my general take on it. Okay, I'm still looking up this. It just cleared on my end for the ether scan. I don't know if you guys are having better luck than I am. Okay. Yes. So we're at 1,482,740. Is that 470? Sorry. Did everybody get that on theirs? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now it's gone through, and I'll share the link. All right. So meanwhile, whole channel is all about transparency. So that's the whole thing. Okay. Did we sell any tickets in the last 24 hours? Good point, Jason. We did not sell any tickets in the last 24 hours. So therefore, this turns into an educational platform where we talk about what are the benefits of a currency that's reducing its circulating supply on a daily basis or a constant basis. Can't really say it's every single day, but it is majority of every single day. So out of the 365 days, there's about 340 days that are actually being burned. So if you name any currency in the world that does this, let me know. I like to take part in it. Especially if it has no governance, if it has zero governance, it's one of those that are trying to help the entire world. SHIB is developed, in my opinion, to encourage or empower people. So it was invented that way because what other way would you explain it? Vladimir Putin was given 500 trillion SHIB when it opened. So there's might be a correlation in there that maybe he was part of the development of it, because who would give somebody half the supply? And then them turn around and they owe $6.7 billion to different governments in the world. And how do they pay that off? Oh, they burn 410. They were given, so it was free for them. They gave it to reduce the amount that they have to pay in taxes. No, they completely obliterated their taxes. They didn't have to pay anything back. So did Vladimir Putin learn anything from that? No, because if he did, he would have stuck with SHIB on his Ethereum and had a gas fees directly associated with SHIB so that it would continually burn SHIB at a massive rate. Because Ethereum fees, as everybody knows, Ethereum fees are not cheap. So even if you took 10% of it or 5% or 2.5% would be a massive thing to do, especially with Ethereum gas fees being so high. So if you were to incorporate that with SHIB, it would have drove SHIB through the roof. But he didn't do that, and everybody thought that he might. But because he used it as a tax break, I'm not sure why he didn't, but that would have been massive on behalf of himself. And because Vladimir Putin is European, and he's got ties to the US and Canada and South America and Africa and China. Those are huge markets for him to take advantage of. That would be massive scale. Because not only could he have reduced it in Europe, not only could he reduce it in South Africa, not only could he reduce it in US and in Canada and in South America and in China. I mean, you're talking about a massive amount of SHIB that he could have like obliterated, which I'm baffled why he didn't do that. But that's beside the point. We got Robinhood now doing it. You have Binance doing it. You have Crypto.com doing it, and you have OKX that's trying to get in there and do it. But they're number 4, guys. So you remember where it stands, right? So, and we had a whale remove 244 billion SHIB from the exchanges. So that means that he sent it to a DeFi wallet or a ledger, or he took it off the marketplace. So that means it's untradeable. That means you can't sell it. So that's massive. And then a whale bought a lot more SHIB. I think it was in the billions of SHIB. It doesn't really matter. You need to do trillions, right, guys? You want a whale to buy, you need the exchanges to start buying trillions of SHIB, like they did in previous years. Like in 2022, where they were buying massive amounts of SHIB, but they didn't know what they were going to do with it. And now that the word is out that Robinhood has cut their fees down to nothing, like it's almost free trading across the board for Robinhood. That's why they're stealing all that market share away from everybody. So if you're into Robinhood, you know that when you buy SHIB, you're buying it directly from their platform. You're not buying it from anywhere else. You're not buying it from Ethereum. You're buying it directly off their platform because the fees are so low. If every single one of those exchanges caught on to it, you would see SHIB go through the roof, at least a 20x from here. Because there's not enough supply to sustain what has to come forth. Because you still have Robinhood accumulating, you still have Binance accumulating, you still have OKX accumulating, you still have Crypto.com accumulating. OKX, Qcoin is kind of like in the background. They're almost there. Bitflyer is accumulating, but they're doing it on a slow. And I don't think it's them doing the accumulation. I think they're just still using the Ethereum blockchain to do all the transactions, because if they were, they'd be buying massive amounts on their platform so that they wouldn't be able to sell it from their platform and charge little fees. And none of them caught on to it. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure once the word gets out and we don't have enough people coming on to enhance that ability from the exchanges. I've tried several methods on X to try and get them to understand that this is in your best interest, but they still haven't caught on to it. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be too late by the time they do catch on to it. I think that Morgan Stanley jumping into the mix right now is going to be a massive shift, and it's going to have the same effect that Robinhood has, because Robinhood is associated with BlackRock, and BlackRock owns a massive amount of SHIB. So by Morgan Stanley jumping into the mix, it's a massive move in the right direction. We're going to get a little sidetracked. We're going to talk about the politics behind the Cybertrucks just for a second. Sorry if we get distracted from your everyday processing, but one guy mentioned it on, where is it here? New York Times, and Ron Flipowski on, keep forgetting. Hold on your white hats. Blue Sky Social. Sorry, forgot the name totally. Yeah, it just blew my mind. Blue Sky. So what they mentioned was that you see the relevancy with the Cybertrucks and military men, and where did the bombings, where did it take place, right? So one is in Louisiana, next to the casino in Louisiana from the Trump Towers, and the other one's at so their association with Trump and Elon Musk, saying that So I think it's a little bizarre that they're both military men. They're both, veterans, which is kind of ridiculous. It almost sounds like somebody planted them there, and they use the trucks as, I don't know, but it doesn't. It's kind of funny that why would veterans do that when Trump is the one backing up the veterans? Like, it makes zero to any sense at all. Yeah, it almost seems like it's a democratic political event. I don't know if you call it that. I don't know if anyone had control of the trucks or whatever, but it's just funny that there's two servicemen and both of them are done. There's no one alive, so there's no one to carry it on. So kind of gives you that, I don't know, weird vibe that this was somehow staged. Yeah, just thought I'd put that out there, just because it's bizarre. It's extremely off the grid kind of thing. I'm not sure what point that was. The guy killed himself, or I don't know if he killed himself or if he was dead before he even got to the place. But there's cameras in Vegas on every street corner, and Louisiana's got, I think, pretty good coverage up to where he was stopped. But I don't think Louisiana has cameras on every street corner. Now, I know that they have light cameras on every street, but those light cameras are like congested areas and for news links and that kind of thing. They don't actually do anything. So without further ado, we'll get out of that mess and we'll talk about something else. I just thought I'd bring that up because I thought that was a little bizarre of what was going on in the US. Right after the new year, mind you, right? So like, it gives you something to think about. What's going to happen next. So without further ado, we'll get into why we're here. We're here to talk about SHIB and only SHIB, right? We want to talk about other currencies. Only if you want to bring them up, we'll bring them up and talk about them. But everybody says diversify. Okay, well, I've been diversifying for 10, 15 years in the marketplace. And the only one that I see are, the only one I'd invest in is SHIB. Everything else has governance. So if that makes sense to you, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. The reason why that is because when we buy something, we don't want to be lied to. When we buy a stock, we don't want to be lied to. When we want to do something or get some information, we don't want to get lied to. But what happens is when we do a phone call on the companies that we invested in, because we're a part owner, when you take on that responsibility and buy a share, you're a part owner of that company. And they don't come out and they're not forthwith on whatever it is they want to talk about. Like how much money you make. They don't want to talk about it. How much are your expenses? They don't want to talk about that either. Okay, so what do you want to talk about? Well, we want to talk about the growth aspect of the company, but they can't use terms anymore where they are potential, misleading conception of how much they're going to anticipate getting. They can't do that. Even though they have an accurate reading of the ground samples, they can pretty much predict the amount of gold, silver, uranium, titanium that they can pull out of that they're expected to pull out of the ground. They can't mention that, which is kind of like, why can't you mention that? If your company is a NVIDIA and you phone up NVIDIA and you go, where do you see what's going on with NVIDIA? What is the problem areas of NVIDIA? What are you going to get? You're going to get an email saying, can you be more specific? You're being too vague. You're not focusing on. So now you got to do some research on it. By the time you get back and do that research on it, you forgot your whole statement that you're going to say to them. And that's what they do. Texas Instruments does it. Apple does it. When you ask them their numbers and you ask them about what sort of protocols they're going to face with and what are their expenses, they don't tell you directly. They go, it's on what? What report am I asking? What report am I going to receive? With SHIB, there's none of that. There's no red tape. You don't have to phone anybody. There's nobody to phone. The only ones that are controlling the price, like it or not, is the investors. Okay. If somebody wants to hold a massive amount of SHIB and they want a short position on it, 10 trillion, 12 trillion, then that's their prerogative. Okay. They're the ones in control. They hold 100 trillion SHIB and they want to take 20 trillion and 30 trillion in SHIB and make sure that's the ceiling to try and drive the price down. That's their prerogative. They have the right to do that. They own that much SHIB. They can do that only to try and buy it from you, because what they're trying to do is trying to get everybody to sell it. They're trying to get everybody to understand what's going on. No. They don't care what you think is going on. What they're trying to do is push you out. For day traders, it's all about trying to make money right now. So if you want to make money right now, go to a different currency, go to a different exchange, see if you can make money that way. But when you're dealing with something that's guaranteed to make you money eventually, it's just a no-brainer, in my opinion. Eventually, they'll have to turn things around and say, no, we can't do it anymore. No one's selling. The bottom line, no one's selling, so no one's being pressured into it. So then they have to start buying it at a higher price. That's the bottom line. And they want to make money too. So they're not going to wait forever. So, and they know that SHIB is a time-sensitive object. Yes. And I think that's the reason why I'm being not being looked at by other organizations or other platforms, is because of that, because I got that 50-50 raffle beside my name. And it's easier to knock the 50-50 raffle. Even when I go on to different exchanges and ask them about hosting the 50-50 raffle on their exchange, they say the exact same thing. It's problematic. So it's already constituted in their knowledge base that they don't want to even touch it because it's problematic. So if that makes sense to you, that's why it's hard for us to keep going. Like Jason, if you watched us from November, thank you so much. But you noticed that the subscribers haven't jumped like they should. And I'm on different platforms and I'm talking about SHIB all the time. And it still has no real effect on the subscribers that come in. So that should, like, I don't know, that's either it's slow going or it's not being perceived by other organizations or they see it as a threat. Makes sense? So then, like Lola on X, okay, she got banned. Her account got stopped. She was over 5,500 followers on that account, and they shut her down. And you know who shut her down? I think it was Lucy. And Lucy and Yoko, the CEO of Bone Leash, the ecosystem development team, shut them down. Now, I don't know why, unless they looked at her as a threat, right? You know, normally that's what they do. They want to control the media. They want to control the board. So in order to do that, they come up with complaints. When you come up with a complaint, then you have to justify why you're there, blah, blah, blah. I've already had one of my accounts shut down, but it was shut down so fast. Was amazing. So we won't talk about what ifs, I guess. We'll be talking about what can be perceived and how far can we go from here. So yes, we want more subscribers because we want to build our team. Not our team, the SHIB community. We don't want to build my team. I don't want a team. I want the SHIB community. I want everybody in the world to understand and come to SHIB and get educated in SHIB. That's what I want. I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to make an enormous amount of money with very little investment. Because when I invested, I was investing in $15,000, $16,000 in a company. And then, and then you spread that out over 5 or 6 companies, you can see where it goes from there. And then these companies, 80% of them wouldn't give you the heads up before they collapsed. So then you're forcing to sell at a lower premium than what you paid for it. So then you take a capital loss. But it's only good if you have capital gains. So you'd have to invest into Microsoft and the banks to be guaranteed to make money, but you're small on your return, between 5 and 10% in 2 or 3 quarters. Okay, so yes, it's less than a year. Yes, but the thing is, it's very slow, and the amount that you're investing, I'd only invest $15,000 to $16,000 in those companies, because I don't see the point in throwing all your money into one, except SHIB. But you don't need to throw that much money in SHIB. SHIB's awesome because you don't have to throw that money in it, and the risk reward is so small. You look at it as a lottery draw. If it's a couple $100, you can afford a couple $100 to buy lottery tickets, then absolutely. If you use $500 to buy lottery tickets, absolutely. If you can only afford to lose $25 to $30, absolutely. If you can only do $5 to put into SHIB, okay, well, you don't buy it all at once. You have it go in the exchange, and then you put another $5. And in cash, USDT, another $5. USDT, another $5. USDT, whatever you can. Every payday, or every second payday, or every month, or whatever it is that you want to do it. And that's how you start. So if you're 18, 19 years of age, yeah, I know you don't have that much money. Most of us at 17 and 18, 19 and 20 years of age are still living in a home. So $20 is easy every payday. So instead of buying it right off the bat, what you do is you wait, accumulate $100, and then buy it. Makes sense? So that your fees aren't that high. Unless you're in the States, then go straight to Robinhood, because Robinhood is backed by BlackRock. So you know your money is secure. Okay. Crypto.com is another good one, but the fees are higher. They haven't caught on to reducing the fees. They're not competing with Robinhood. And they're probably asking themselves, how come we can't compete with Robinhood? And that's exactly what they should be asking themselves. Oh, it's because we don't have the backing in SHIB. That means we have to buy more SHIB. Exactly. Each of the exchanges need to buy more SHIB. The more you have, the more transactions you can do off of Ethereum gas fees. So that gives you more leverage, and it gives you the best composite index too. So that now you'll have to come up with a way to reduce the circulating supply so you benefit from it. That's where the next draw in is. So each of the exchanges will have to do the exact same thing. I'll have to lower my fees to compete with BlackRock and Robinhood and Binance, because Binance is getting into that habit too now, where they're buying enormous amount of SHIB. So as they buy more and more SHIB, that's going to give them that leverage. Now, to even go even further, so they start making money on the return, they will start using the fee, as a reduction in SHIB circulating supply. And if they're smart, they're going to share the wallet addresses. They're going to share how much they're burning, when they're burning, when each quarter, each month, how they're actually doing it, and then showing that on their books so they can use it as a tax write-off. Now, when you see those things developing, that transparency, you're more in tune to buy on those exchanges. That's what will drive the driving factors for them forward. Now, when every single exchange starts to realize that, they're like, everybody starts to pile in. No one wants to get left behind. Left behind means you lose money. No one likes to lose money. So that's why I said that SHIB is a guaranteed investment, because it is. More and more people coming in, because everybody starts to realize, hey, wait a second, what do we have here? We have something that's gaining in value from the exchanges. Now, the only ones that are doing it are the exchanges? No. We have Amazon. All you have to do is go on the Amazon links on the website, SHIB5050raffle.com. Go on accumulation, under accumulation, on the bottom part of accumulation. Before you get to the tickets, there's two sectors. One's global and one's US. So you have all your friends and buy whatever it is they want on Amazon. They would have been purchasing them anyway. There's those reductions, and it's 1% on small ticket items, and on large ticket items, depending on the profit margins, is 1.5%. So all that goes to the reduction of SHIB. Now, if we were to do that just based on 1% in the last year, we would have burned $5.75 billion USDT worth of SHIB. That's less. That would be half of the supply 4 months ago. Okay, because it was at 10 billion, and 10 billion at 5.75. That is more than half the supply gone in 1 year. So I want you to think about that. If everybody started using those links, and all you have to do is go and buy, share the links with all your friends and family, share those links with everybody that you see, bring more people into the website, which we're not getting a lot of people coming into the website. Again, I think it's that contour that we're not getting that feedback or that launch where people are thinking it's a hoax. I don't know, Jason, what do you think? You think that people think it's a hoax? They think that it's a scam. I hear from a lot of people, not a lot of people, about 10 people to 20 people that said, is this a scam? Like right off the bat. They don't question anything else. They just say, is this a scam? And I'm like, no. How can it be a scam? What, in your opinion, is a scam? Because lottery could be looked at as a scam. You're paying for something that you're not getting any reward in, and you're taking a chance in it, and there is a reward, but the chances are you're going to lose your money. So I don't know, like, if you look at it as a scam or not, but it's a lottery. You take a chance. With this lottery, there's no chance. You're going to make money. That's why I said it's not a scam. You're going to make money. This money goes right back into your pocket in one form or another. So there is a host fee for hosting the raffle, of course. Every raffle is the same thing. Most of them are 20%. Actually, 100% of them, except for us, are 20%. That's what they take for administration fees. We do not take 20%. We don't even take close to that. We take less than 5%, guys. So for the commission. And we got to pay people too, because we got to pay to make sure that our integrity is in check. So we have to pay for that. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're looking at a raffle draw. Other raffle draws don't offer what we offer. We offer you your money back. Okay, but you don't see it in one aspect, except for the burn ratio, which you will see a return on your investment if we sell enough tickets. That's the kicker. That's what I have a hard time with. People just don't understand that concept that we're reducing the circulating supply with the other half. The other part of it is go straight into the winners that win the raffle, and then the rest of it's getting reduced. So one is directly, and then the other one is indirectly paying you. Just like when you see a burn, like yesterday, we saw $1,200 USDT burn that was given to the whole SHIB community. Did you see that in your pocket? No, but it did help with the reduction of SHIB circulating supply. Today, it was over $1,200 that was given into the SHIB community. But did you see any of that money? No, of course not. It's indirect. So that's exactly what we're trying to get through with the SHIB 50/50 raffle. Is it benefits you. So it pays you to play? Absolutely, it pays you to play. Do you see a direct correlation? In one aspect, if you win, yes. In the other, no. You'll see an indirect correlation because we're reducing the circulating supply for the whole community, benefiting the whole community. Bringing more people in is what we're trying to do and build on our community. So if there's anything we can do better, please let us know. Is this a brilliant idea? Let us know if it's a brilliant idea. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Each time you subscribe adds to the amount of monetization that we get. So the more we get, the more we can burn. Oh, and I forgot. Hey, thanks, Jason, for letting me know. This disclaimer. The banner is missing. Right, there we go. There we go. The banner is missing. Because we're just about to talk about the banner. What's with the banner? The banner is 80% of everything that we do on the channel goes directly into the pockets of the SHIB holders, okay, in the form of burns. So we would provide you with links to show you that we are burning SHIB circulating supply live for everyone. So that just by coming on, you don't have to pay for anything. Just by coming on, participating, you're helping reduce the circulating supply of SHIB. Hey, it's a win-win situation. You don't have to do anything. Like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. All you got to do is 2-3 things. And we're in like Flint. more we bring in, the more people we bring in, the more we burn. So 5 or 10 million people? No. We want billions, right? 1 to 2 billion people. We want to see around 5 million to 2 million. Well, I like 50 to 70 million people coming in at once. It'll be a very interesting scrolling repertoire to try and slow it down so that I can pay attention to what's going on. That would be awesome too, right? So everything on Facebook, everything on YouTube, everything on Rumble, everything that we do that's posted on here would go to 80% would go to the reduction of SHIB circulating supply. And to show our honesty, we would do live burn for everybody. That's what we would do for you. We do have tomorrow, and everybody knows what tomorrow is, right? What's tomorrow, Jason? Tomorrow is Sunday. What do we know about Sundays, Jason? Every Sunday we do the exact same thing. It's sell-off Sunday. Every Sunday we have sell-off Sunday. So what does sell-off Sunday mean? It means between a 5 and 6% sell-off, and then followed by a gain. How much of a gain? Probably around that 20 to 30% gain. We're hoping. Are we hoping, or are we looking forward to it? The fact that we reduce the circulating supply and we have sell-offs just amazes me. It absolutely drives me crazy. I don't know if it drives you crazy, Jason, but it should drive someone crazy, because you're reducing the circulating supply every single day, which means you're adding value to that currency every single day. So why would you not buy SHIB? Why is there so much selling pressure? Exactly. That makes zero sense. Zillow. Zillow. Makes no sense. Come on, make some sense. So it defies common sense. It's extremely annoying. But it's what happens, and you have to laugh about it. There's no two ways about it. We have to do these disclaimers. I am not your financial broker, not your financial analyst. I can't tell you what to buy, what to sell. I can't tell you when to buy, when to sell. I can just tell you that this is a good time to get in. No, I can't say anything like that you take with a grain of salt. Every single time someone says something to you, they're not your professional analyst or anything. Of course, SHIB can still go down. The ceilings are still up there. It can still go to 17 if enough people sell it. It's just the way it is. But you're at the mercy of the investors, and they're also reducing the circulating supply. So you have to keep that in mind. The more we go down, the bigger the burns will be. The higher we go, the lower the burns will be. But in all honesty, it should work the other way. The more we make, the more we're going to reduce. Because not everybody will understand about moving their currency to a USDT or crypto.com in Crow or some other form of ledger or DeFi wallet or cold storage. Not everybody will understand those concepts so that they don't need to sell it into the fiat currency, because once you sell it to the fiat currency, you have to pay capital gains on it. If you're in that country, if you're outside that country, Singapore is cheaper. Land and Emirates. So if everybody wants to go to Dubai and trade their currency, you have to be there for at least a month. Wena, big shout out to Wena. Big shout out to Rowena. Big shout out to Jason, of course. Big shout out to Prince. Big shout out to Babe's channel. Big shout out to Rowena Purchase. Disclosure. Big shout out to Disclosure. Big shout out to Gabriel and Leah. Big shout out to Emma. Missing someone. Dong. Who else am I missing? Everybody in the world, right? I want you all to come in and take part and see what's going on with SHIB, so that everybody can get educated and then share the information with their friends and family. Make sure that you're sharing the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle.com with everybody. Not saying they'll go through the links, because when people see a link, they get scared. They don't want to open it. They're thinking it's going to be it's going to take them into something that they don't want to see. Well, with SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle, if you don't take part in it, you're going to see just what you're missing out on. Just saying, right? Everything we talk about on the website, I'm sure, Jason. If there's something you don't like on the website, you'll tell me about it. Same thing with Prince. Same thing with Gabriel and Leah. If they see something that's a little funny or that's not right, I'm sure they'll express that. Everybody has their opinion on it, and I appreciate everybody's feedback on it. If it's not clear or concise, please point that out so we can make it clear and concise for every single person. Now, I know that the rules and conditions is very, very dry, but that's what rules and conditions are. They're not to be entertaining. They are to be dry, so that you understand your rights within the SHIB confines of the 50-50 raffle. And the reason why we can host the raffle is on the rules and conditions, because SHIB has no governance. So something that doesn't have any governance means you don't have to pay for registration. You don't have to publicize it like you do with going to your government and asking them for a business account, right? When you want to get a business account, you got to provide the tax information. You got to provide the registration number, when you started, how many employees you have. All those things have to go to the registration of that country that you're in. But with SHIB, who do we got to go to the registration for? Nobody. The only ones that hold it are the SHIB community investors. The investors. There's no CEO, there's no CFO, there's no governing body from each country that governs SHIB. It's zero. And if they start trying to govern SHIB, it becomes a political thing where they'd have to govern other currencies. You see where it gets very complicated very fast, because they would have to have certain control over it, which they don't. So you have to keep that in mind as it going forward, saying, well, then they'd overstipulate, wouldn't they? They'd have to overstipulate into other jurisdictions that they can't. Exactly. They can't do it. And they won't do it because it's going to create headaches for them. So this is why we love SHIB. This is why we want to promote SHIB. This is why we're in SHIB in the first place, is because we know we're going to make money in it. It's a guaranteed investment. Anything that's reducing a circulating supply and driving in more demand for people coming in, you know, it's going to eventually explode. Everybody's going to find out about it, and it's only going to take a matter of time before the exchanges find out about it. Companies, organizations from around the world find out about it. And we're in so much financial debt in crisis that it's only a matter of time before the banks, national banks, start looking at other alternatives to get out of that debt load. And SHIB would definitely get them going in the right direction to get out of debt. So all that spending that they've done that got out of control about, SHIB gets them back into that control. So I have no idea why it hasn't taken place, Jason. But thank God it hasn't, because if it did, I'm guaranteeing you right now, SHIB is not sitting at 4 zeros. It's sitting at 50 cents to $1 and fluctuating back and forth. And you know that as well as I do. It's just a matter of time before it starts doing that, because it'll be massive movements in that $1, between $1 and 50 cents and back and forth, because every single company, every single organization on the planet is going to be owning a massive amount of SHIB. So there's a very small amount of SHIB that's being used for transferring funds back and forth. And they're going, well, it would have 589 trillion. That's more than the world's economy has right now, right? We're $72 trillion in debt, in credit card debt globally. I want everybody to say that with me. 72 trillion in debt, in credit card debt. That's not government's debt. That's the people that hold it. That's your debt. And it's going up every 5 seconds, $1 million in debt that you're never going to pay back. And it's climbing faster and faster and faster because it's mounts in the amount of capital debt that's going on right now. That's not mortgages. That's credit card debt, unsolvable debt. Okay, so I want you to think about that. That's 72 trillion. So SHIB would have to be at least double that in market capitalization if it were just to figure that mess out on everybody's credit card debt. So we're not even close. Gold should be going through the roof, right? Like everybody go, gold is where the commodity is. So it's supposed to be a leverage against our debt. Well, it obviously isn't, because it's nowhere near where it's supposed to be then. Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin being used to sovereign our debt? None. Zero. Why? Limited supply. And we don't want to force Bitcoin to $100,000, right? And then it goes to $500,000. Okay, now we can start using it to pay down the deficit with it. It's at that market cap that where the world can start benefiting from it, because not all the organizations in the world own that much Bitcoin. With SHIB, it's only $13 billion, $14 billion market capitalization right now. For someone to come in and buy up all of SHIB would cost them about $25 billion. That's a huge difference between Bitcoin's price and gold's price. That's what I'm saying to you. It's like, it's a no-brainer. It's just that SHIB can be used in a lot more different applications because it's reducing its circulating supply. As it reduces its circulating supply, they can reduce the fiat currency at the same time. So I'm Will, your host. Thank you so much for coming, and I want you to think about that when you're contemplating staying in SHIB or buying more SHIB or whatever it is you want to do with SHIB. Just buy it, leave it, forget it. That's our motto, right, Jason? If it goes down, you DCA in. If it goes up, you just leave it, right? It has to go below 20% below your green line. So if you're in the green right now, it has to go 20%. So if your red line is at 20, 402000, then you're buying it at 18. Makes sense? You're DCAing at 18. If it doesn't get to 18, you're not buying. Even if you only have $50 in it, you're still not buying it unless you want to start putting $5 every month towards it. That's the only way that I could see you doing it, or $20 or $30, depending on how much you'd spend on lottery tickets. That's the bottom line. How much are you willing to spend on a lottery ticket? That's how you look at SHIB. If you're worried about the exchange that you're on, if you can't trust them or not, I don't know. You have to do your own due diligence. Jason, if you got any advice for anybody, Prince, if you got any advice for anybody, I know that we use Wealthsimple because it's backed by the government in the United States. It's crypto.com. It's more expensive, but it gives you that, gives you that security that it's backed in U.S. currency. Backed by the U.S. dollar? No, backed by the U.S. government. Okay? And if anyone says that CDDC is coming forward in the U.S., it's already there. It's in the form of crypto.com. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. You don't believe me? Look at where they're backed in. Okay? They're backed by the U.S. government, and they're backed by the USD. You're backed by the U.S. currency. Well, when you're backed by the U.S. currency, that currency has volatility. That tells you something, right? So the crypto digital age is already here. It's just that other people are taking their time trying to figure it out, and it's not our fault. I mean, it's just the way it's perceived. And the stock exchanges, don't let them fool you. They're already investing in it. Okay, the ETFs are already out there. The Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, they're already out there in the US, in Canada, in China, in Europe. They're already there, guys. You can say whatever you like, but the truth of the matter is the banks are investing in it. Okay? It's just that the rest of them are telling you that they're not. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. You ever heard that phrase? Why do they tell you that? Because I'm telling you that don't buy it, but we're buying it on the back end because we want to buy it and steal it from everybody before they have a chance to buy it. That's the bottom line. Everybody wants to make money, and the only way they make money is if everybody knows about it but doesn't take any action in it. Then once the timing is right, then they tell everybody we're buying it, but they already bought it. Who does that? Warren Buffett does it. Warren Buffett said back in 2022, when we were buying SHIB, he said that he was buying gold. The fact of the matter is he bought gold in January when the price was low. And then he told everybody about it in July that he was buying gold. What happened? All of a sudden, In September, an announcement was made. Warren Buffett already sold 80% of his stake in gold. 80%. So that means between the time in July to September 1st, he sold it. So he wasn't buying in July. He already had it bought way before July. But before he made his statement was in July. So it would get everybody to buy it into gold so he could sell it. So you know how it works, right? That's exactly how the banking sector is doing it. That's exactly how big corporations are doing it. Everybody's got the same thing. I want to make my money. With SHIB, you don't have that problem. Because when you buy it, hey, I can reduce it. And I'm going to get paid to reduce it because it's a benefit to the government if I reduce it. Every single organization on the planet is going to realize this eventually. They haven't figured it out yet, but when you do, don't worry, Jason. You're covered because you own it. And you know the truth. So there's no way you're selling it at a cheaper price. So because you know the truth, you can't be befooled, right? Bamfoobled to try and sell your shit before it gets to your goal. That's exactly it. And that's what they're trying to do is bamboozle everybody to sell it. And that's you got to be smarter than the average bear when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that's why we want you to live long and prosper. That's the truth. We want you to live long and prosper. That's why we share these concepts, because I want you to understand what's going on and the truth of why SHIB is the best currency in the world. And it's not looked at as a currency right now. Well, it's too small. You know that when you can get a ruby and it's only half a ruby to buy one SHIB, right? Or a tenth of a ruby or a hundredth of a ruby to buy 1 cent. I think it's a tenth. Actually, it's less than a tenth. So it's like a 20th of a ruby to buy one SHIB. So that tells you right there, okay? If anyone knows anything about the difference in currency values, go over that again in a different one. But I'm Will, your host. Thank you. We're going to rock his out and make sure that we dance this off because this was an awesome night. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Big shout out to Babes Channel. Big shout out to Jason. Big shout out to Weta. Big shout out to Rowena. Big shout out to Babes. Big shout out to Prince. Big shout out to the Discord. Disclosure. Big shout out to Leah, Gabriel. Thanks for coming, guys. Really appreciate you coming in, taking part, being part of the community. Let's build, grow, and develop together as a whole community. And Jason, I hope you get better with what's going on with you. Our prayers are still with you, brother. So take good care. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Same time, same channel? No, same time, roughly. If we sell tickets, it'll be sooner, okay? We want to sell tickets. We want to grow massively quickly. We don't want to be sitting on the sidelines and waiting for the banks to make their announcement saying they're buying SHIB when you know damn well they already bought it. Now they're trying to get everybody else in it. And it'll happen like Bitcoin? No. SHIB is different than Bitcoin. It's way different than Bitcoin. It's way better than Bitcoin. It's way better than gold. But people have to see that value. And if you don't see it, please go on to SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Find out. Do yourself a favor and find out why SHIB is way better than both of them combined. And who can tell you about it? It's the people that are invested in SHIB that have an understanding of what's going on with SHIB. Most of them have no clue what SHIB was capable of. I wish they did. It would make things a lot easier, a lot smoother, and you wouldn't see these huge transactions happening on a daily basis. Like, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars, and all you're seeing is a 2% to 3% move. Are you kidding me? That means you're not educated in SHIB. I'm sorry, but that's the truth of it. You are just not getting it. Anyway, I'm Will, your host. We're going to rock it out. We tried to rock it earlier, but now we're going to actually rock it. We're doing the host. Woo! Slam, 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 slam. Boom, 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 boom. Dance it out. Woo! SHIB army, SHIB family, SHIB community. You think if they found out that SHIB be trading at 4 zeros 3, 4 zeros 2, 4 zeros 1, 4 zeros anything, 4 zeros, 3 zeros is bad enough. 3 zeros is way undervalued too. But at least it would give you some sort of concept of what you're invested in. We just got awarded $2,400 worth in USDT given to the whole SHIB community in 2 days, guys. Woo! That is a massive, massive statement to the whole SHIB community. How many of them even know about it? How many of them are even aware what that means? How many people are being fed in the darkness? They don't see the light. They don't see what's going on. And it really irks me because we're making a statement every day about it. Every day we come on and talk about it. And that's why we want to empower people, is because we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to understand what's going on. And that's the empowerment. And that's the bringing the whole SHIB community together. God bless each and every one of you. Jesus loves every single one of you. And because we do this for the entire world, because Jesus did this with his sacrifice was for the whole world, that's why we do it for the whole world. Everybody has a right to know this. Every single person on the planet has a right to know. So that they can take part and be part of a massive community. And that's why we keep doing this day after day, hour after hour, to provide you with the most information and most informative that we can think of that's not boggling. There's lots of predictions out there. Predictions are just what they are. They're predictions. They have no idea what's going on. Tomorrow you could wake up and SHIB could be 1 cent. It might not be able to hold the 1 cent, but it could wake up and be 1 cent. And it could wake up and be 10 cents. But its chances of it happening are very unlikely. You would start to see a massive buy-in and zero selling. That would be a kicker. Okay? Everything that's being sold would be stolen, literally, from some organization. Majority of banks would talk directly to exchanges if they were trying to buy it. So you wouldn't even see it until it's too late. Just letting you know, okay? Because they're going to offer them 10% premium, 20% premium. They don't talk to the markets the way we talk to the markets. We buy it directly from one another. They don't do that. They go straight to the exchanges to buy it right off the exchange. So what they do is, I want to buy this much SHIB. Okay, well, we'll get you then this many people selling it. That's what they do. They do that in secret. And then you realize there's no supply left. Well, whose fault? Well, you're warned, but again, no one's watching the channel, so guess what? Take it with ease and smile, laugh, have a great time. At least you didn't get stuck at the bottom, right? That's the truth of it. I'm wishing everybody a good night. Have fun. And yes, we're into the 2025, so we still say Happy New Year, because everybody has a right to have a Happy New Year. And we want to make this the best year ever. Not in SHIB, but in the markets, in your pocket. So we can get you there quicker. That's what the raffle is all about. It's getting us there quicker. It's to exploit SHIB for what it is. And that's how we would do it. And if that's a brilliant thing to do, make sure you give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and comment at the bottom, guys. Appreciate you. Have a great, wonderful night. In theory, SHIB should never go down, because we're reducing the circulating supply and we're bringing more people in. So we're bringing more people in, we're reducing the supply. It is a double whammy. It means that it should never sell off. That is the truth. Enjoy your night. Have a great, wonderful evening, everybody. God bless each and every one of you. Peace out.